Hello, friends. Welcome back for another week of live updates. Today, we're going to be talking about how to add an extra 50 grand to your restaurant business today. We're just changing up our presentation a little bit today, which is the reason why you're going to be in for a treat. We're going to have some really kick-ass animation and all this goodies that Jason has kindly done for us. So let's wait for a few minutes before everyone comes on board, and then we are gonna go live right away. Okay. Can you guys hear me? If you guys can, give me a like or let me know in the comment section, so then that way we know when to start. Perfect. Okay. Hopefully everyone's survived. You can hear me? Perfect. That is amazing. Okay, today we're doing something a little bit differently. I had the pleasure to interview Kyle. Yeah, we're good. So Kyle's actually owning a bar and in Victoria, and so then he was thinking about how do I basically put my bar digital, and because he was struggling back then, and then now he was able to actually change that around and add additional $50,000 to their restaurant. And so I actually interviewed him, and that interview will be going live very soon, and it really talks about his journey. It talks about how he was able to change things around for his business, and I thought that it was really useful to be able to share his stories with some of you guys out there who is running a restaurant business and who wants to be able to utilize what you guys have and to turn it around, because anything that he has done you guys can all do, and that's something that I'm really excited to share with you guys on. Yeah, smash the like button so I know you guys are here, and we are gonna get started right away. So, thank you. We're good to go. Today's schedule is 6 steps to add $50,000 to your restaurant. And then after that, we're going to be diving into the must-know in the industry news, something about my take on what's happening in the industry today. And then we're going to end it off with a Q&A section. So make sure that you guys leave your questions right now, because I usually don't have time to finish all the questions that you guys have to ask, and I want to be able to cover everything for you guys. And each time I think that the golden nuggets are really from the Q&A section, because it really tailors to what is happening down on the roots level. Basically what is really happening to your restaurant, and hopefully a lot of people can get value from that. So without further ado, we are going to be talking and diving right in. So a little bit about me for you guys that are first tuning in. My name is Wilson. We run an ice cream shop 5 years ago, turned that into an ice cream chain of 7, and recently got it acquired. And that's a little bit about me, and let's dive right in, guys. Extra 50K for your restaurant. It does seem like an outrageous amount, but I'm just telling you that right now, it is not outrageous, because Kyle has done that. As you can see, he has added an additional $49,000 that he's able to track from his Stripe account. And yeah, you can see here, it's crazy, and it's something that is not too difficult to do, and this is not even accounting for the extra sales that he has made in his business, in addition to all the other offers that he is running right now. And this is just on that one offer that he's doing, which is tremendous. He was able to digitalize his physical bar by creating an educational experience for his client. And he's out in Victoria, so not a lot of people are in Victoria, and it's basically an island out of Vancouver. Made an extra 50K, and basically today I'm just going to be breaking down how he was able to do that and how he went digitalized with his bar. And a lot of you can definitely relate to that, and a lot of you have definitely been underutilizing all your assets. So something that I am super stoked to reveal for you. Are you guys ready to learn how to do the same for your restaurant and to turn an additional 50K in your business? If you guys are, comment ready in the chat so I know I can dive right in. Are you guys all in right now? Let's see here. Is everyone in? All right, let's go. Just want to make sure everyone's here before we start the presentation, guys. So let me know if you guys are ready. Okay. Seems like everyone's ready. So the first step to be able to do that, guys, is to identify your offer. Brainstorm your potential offering. And what I mean by that is a lot of restaurants, you guys have a lot of assets that you guys are running within your business and that you're not fully utilizing what you have on hand. Potentially, if you guys are not doing catering already, catering could be a potential offering that you are going to be able to offer your customers. Are you guys doing events? At 720 Sweets, our ice cream shop, we do tons of events because we want to be able to build that community. We want to be able to get everyone involved and in turn have that retained earnings and have the people that lives around our area support us. Do you have any items or any offerings that you can turn into a digital education? With a bar, Kyle was able to turn his experience with creating amazing cocktails into a digital education course for his customers. And this applies to any industry and any types of offerings. So if you guys have any types of offerings that you want us to kind of brainstorm for you, feel free to leave it in the comment section below and I will be able to run a potential digital offer for you from all the different areas and angles that I've seen in the past. So for example, with Ice Cream Shop, what kind of digital education offer can we present? Well, a potential digital offer would be teaching people how to make ice cream at home. That could be a potential digital offer which I can sell online, and that's what a lot of people are doing. Workshops, perhaps, like what kind of workshops can you offer? So for example, if you have a barbecue joint, you can run a workshop on how to make barbecue sauce, and that itself would be able to draw in people from around town that wants to be able to make their own barbecue sauce but don't know how to, doesn't have the ingredients to do so, and they just don't want to, they just want to do something for fun, and that itself presents an amazing opportunity and an amazing offer as well. Consultation, for some of you guys that want to do an ice cream shop, that's the reason why I consult so much, because every day I wake up, I go to my email and tons of people are asking, hey Wilson, how do you start an ice cream shop? And that's what I do. I consult with people who want to be able to start an ice cream shop. And for you, what kind of consultation can you offer to your customers? Identifying your offer and identifying your untapped means of presenting value to your customers is super important, because as restaurateurs, we're often looking at our offers and looking at what we're doing as only offering food items to our customers. But in turn, there's actually so much items that we can offer. We just need to be a little bit more creative with it. So that's the reason why it's super important to be able to see and explore these types of avenue. So for you guys, I do challenge you to ask and tell me in the comment section, what is your money-making machine? Is it just selling ice cream, or is it any other types of offers? As you can see here, this is basically Kyle's offer, $747 for a full hands-on bartending school course. The whole proprietary cocktail guide and all of this good stuff for $747. Just imagine being able to add an additional 5 of these to your bottom line every single month. That's an additional $4,000 that you're putting in your pocket. So that's the reason why it's super popular, and this module is super insightful and also profitable if you know what you're doing. And so frankly, that's the reason why I'm doing this training for you, to be able to help you tap in the untapped resources within your business. Does that make sense, guys? If it does, let me know in the comment. Sorry guys, see here. Alrighties. So if that makes sense, we're gonna head on to the next slide. It's time to build. So now that you have identified your offer, guys, it's time to build what we have identified. The second step is to create the outline. So now that we have identified what we want to create, we have identified that, hey, you know what, Wilson, I want to be able to build a digital course specifically on teaching people how to make barbecue sauce. And I'm going to do events. I'm also going to do catering. I'm also going to do consultation. Well, at the end of the day, I do want you guys to limit your offer to one item only, because for the sake of simplicity, for the sake of being able to focus and hone in your craft, identifying one offer and doing an amazing job to gain the traction is so important, because we don't want to do 5 things that are not done well. We want to be able to choose one thing and do an exceptional job and be known for it, and then we branch out, and then we do the second offer, and then we do the third offer, because it is going to be a lot of work, guys. It's not going to be a walk in the park, but at the end of the day, it's going to be worthwhile, which is the reason why choosing that one offer to begin with that you know for a fact you're super good at and that you see a lot of demand for is very crucial to the success of your whole campaign and to the success of this whole digital, turning your restaurant into digital as a huge success. Okay, now that you've chosen your first offer, I would go ahead and do a dry run. What is a dry run? Dry run basically means that you're not really putting everything that you're not trying to like put all the bells and whistles into this offer. You're not trying to make it really fine-tuned. You just want to be able to have an idea and go out there and prove it and bring it to the market, and the market will tell you what works, what doesn't work, and which is the reason why doing a dry run is super important. Don't spend all your time in creating something that you think in your mind is receptive with your consumers, because at the end of the day, majority of the time it's not going to stick. You have to choose something that you think is the best, and then you test it out with a dry run. During the process of your dry run, for example, teaching people how to do the best barbecue sauce in town, you're going to be able to document the whole logistics and all the steps. A lot of people fail to do that because they feel like that, hey, you know what, everything is in here and I don't need to document anything down. I know exactly the steps. But because of the fact that we take for granted of our knowledge, and once we take for granted for our knowledge, we're going to miss a lot of steps. We're going to miss a lot of these items that people that are not in the industry that they don't know, which is the reason why documenting your logistics and documenting your steps is crucial for you to be able to teach and show someone. Just like how we're doing this presentation, I have done 2 different dry runs to make sure that, hey, it makes sense. I structured it in a way that I feel is the most receptive to you, because I don't take it for granted that you know what I'm talking about. Although I've been doing this for many years, I still need to be able to document each of the logistics and also the steps. We need to identify the outcome. From your point of view, what is it that you want to get out of this whole presentation? For me, and for this whole presentation, I want you to have the skill set. I want you to know the steps in helping your restaurant digitalize an additional stream of revenue. And that's my whole outcome that I want to be able to present you. For the barbecue joint, the barbecue sauce, the whole outcome is for the customer to go home with a bucket of amazing barbecue sauce that they have created. After identifying this outcome, everything becomes like so streamlined. Everything becomes focused on delivering this outcome. That's the reason why it's super important for us to identify, because we don't want to get lost throughout the way of teaching. We don't want to get lost throughout the way of sharing with consumers and our customers. And then last but not least, we need to organize and categorize all these types of steps. So for example, I love creating steps. And that's the reason why for majority of my presentation, you see that I create steps for you. 6 steps in creating a digital course, 10 must-have items for your restaurants to start, because I realize, and I think that majority of my clients, they are able to accept information when it's categorized and organized in a very good manner. That's the reason why we create this whole outline. After we created this whole outline from what we have in our thoughts, then we can move to the next step. I would not recommend you guys going to the next step prior to identifying your outline. This is basically you doing your homework and creating this presentation. Exactly what I'm doing to help you guys gain the knowledge. And that's step 2. Do you guys have any questions? If you guys do, leave it in the comment section below. If not, we're going to blaze through this presentation. Third step in creating that digital course, adding that $50,000 to your bottom line is a proof of concept. Like I was saying, a lot of these things that we are thinking of and that we have in our minds are just ideas. We don't know whether the market likes it or not. It's just same as you having a dish of item that you think is amazing, but until it gets to market, until your customers tell you the feedback, you don't know whether it works or not. Same thing with a digital course, same thing with helping your restaurant go digital. You need to prove your concept. So once again, barbecue sauce workshop that you're doing. How are we going to be able to prove a concept when there's no one interested? Well, you tell everyone about it. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your patrons, tell customers that are coming in that, hey, you know what? If you love this sauce, we're doing workshop next week. Definitely come by, check it out. And then that way we can gain, let's say, 10 to 20 different people who are interested in doing these types of workshops or having and making their own barbecue sauce. Put people through the offering. Guys, if you have a concept and if you want to validate that concept, make sure you put tons of people through it. Why is that the case? It is to gain feedback. It is sorry about that. It is to gain feedback because we need to be able to understand what works and what doesn't work in the market, not from our minds. And once again, I need to reiterate this, is that a lot of things that we take for granted and a lot of assumptions that we make, whether it be in business or even in personal life, it is human nature for us to make assumptions. And it is very, very a pitfall that everyone makes, which is the reason why we need to put people through it, and then we are able to get the feedback and the responses. And one thing that you definitely must do is to document the process. Document what works, document what doesn't work, document how the flow of everything is working. Just like how I'm always reiterating, revising the presentation that we're giving you, from different images to different topics to basically how we are doing a live session with you guys. We document each of the process so then that way we know what went well, what didn't do as well, and areas of improvement. Without documenting it, we would not know. Without measurements, we would not know what works. Same thing with your course. You don't want to spend thousands of dollars creating your own digital version of a course and yet you don't know whether it works or not. You want to go to market with the highest chances of success, and that's the reason why it is super important to do so. At the same time, after the whole process, you need to survey your customers, survey them and ask them once again what works, what doesn't work, and if they enjoyed it, that would be great as a testimonial for your course. That's the reason why you would always want to survey the people that went through the workshop and your concept. And this is what exactly Kyle did. You can see that all this image, this is basically his first workshop. He hired a photographer to document this whole process. The photographer was $100 to $200 and the pictures came out amazing. He is able to use these images for not only his social media, but also for other assets and other items that he plans on putting it on in the future. This is content for amazing marketing and also allows him to get feedback from his customers, the good, bad, ugly, and also was able to grab testimonials, as you can see. And this is exactly what came out of his page. As you can see right here, there's testimonials, there's videos. As you're able to fine-tune your offer, you can start creating more videos. But for the sake of simplicity, having a photographer out there to document all the pictures is also going to be a very worthwhile investment because once again, content is everything in today's age, and this allows you to use and recycle all these types of content for your needs. Hopefully that makes sense. Your goal here is that you should have collected at least 5 testimonials for your offering. So now that we have identified your offer, now that we have outlined what you want to give, barbecue sauce for your customers, then we're going to put people through and collect testimonials. Super, super important to do that, because later on in step 5, we're going to be able to use these testimonials. Yes, you're right about pre-COVID. However, having said that, does not mean that after COVID this does not apply. It is even more crucial that you do this right now, because as you can see, when all the shops are closed down, people can't come in to enjoy their meals. Imagine being able to sell them something that they can consume at home. And digital education is definitely on the rise, and everyone is purchasing things online. People are taking online courses all the time, and which is the reason why this is even more important post COVID. Okay, a lot of customers and a lot of restaurants are actually making sure that being on digital is going to be part of their core offering in the future, because they understand that in the case that the whole world shuts down, they can still do business, which is the reason why digital course is doing amazing right now. Masterclass is doing amazing. All these type of online education is doing really, really well. So yes, that makes very, very good sense that this is pre-COVID, but at the end of the day, we are moving towards digital, and that's the reason why it is super, super important for you to do this. After the fact that you have done your workshop, you collected the 5 testimonials, you should also have a list of improvements that you need to work on. At the end of the day, once again, I need to re-emphasize having stuff that is amazing and actually telling yourself, hey, this is amazing, this works really well, and things that you can work on to improve is also equally as needed. And so that, which is the reason why a lot of people are not succeeding, a lot of people are not being able to do well, because they don't ask themselves how can they improve. It's all about testing things out and making sure that you can work on things that you can improve on. Does that make sense, guys? I really hope that makes sense. If it does, let me know in the comment section below, and that way we can move on to the next slide. Okay, so if your business is struggling, or if you're just starting out, make sure that you put your questions out in the comment section below, because in the later half of our presentation, we're going to be answering all your questions. And once again, towards the end of the presentation is when all the questions comes out, and usually I don't have time to answer all of them, which is the reason why you should put your question in there specifically to your situation right now, so then that way we can add that to our list. The 4th step, now that you have identified your underutilized assets within your company, okay? Now that you have figured out, hey, this is something that I want to be able to do and offer my tribe, you create an outline. 3rd is you put it to test. You have people come in, you have people to give you feedback, you're able to create a bunch of testimonial, and of course I understand right now, currently, you can't get testimonials. However, it doesn't stop you from planning these things in advance in order for you to be able to capitalize on it in the future. And it's like right now is really the time to do so, because the doors are reopening up again, people are coming in, and more the reason that people want to do something interesting with their friends, with their family, with this whole going back to restaurant thing. So after everything is done, then you create a sales page. Now, what is a sales page? Sales page is basically just a website, simply put. A website where you put information on there and that people can go to it and they can actually know more about what you have to offer. Simply put, it is just a website. Okay? Now, how do you build a website? Or does it mean that you need a developer, pay thousands of dollars to do that? No, guys, like I'm talking about very, very simple website that you can build yourself on websites such as lead pages or ClickFunnels, and these are 2 really, really easy templated web hostings that can allow you to build a simple sales page. Put your offer on there. So if you're selling barbecue sauce, then you can put it out there. Wilson's barbecue sauce as your offer. For Kyle, he put his offer as Nimble's bartending school. And for him, he basically just put what he has to offer on this website. And the different components that you would want to include in your sales page. I'm not going to dive too deeply into this because it does get a little bit technical on the different structure and the different items that you need to put in there. But at the end of the day, the basic components would just be your offer, you put your story. Why is it that you want to put your story on there? It is because you want to be able to connect with people. When people are going to the site, if it doesn't connect to them, if it's something that's just, hey, you know what, buy my course, buy this, buy that, you feel turned off. You feel like, oh, it's one of those sites again. Well, at the end of the day, putting your stories allows people to understand, hey, you know what, this guy's a real person. I connect with them. I know exactly why is it that they created something like this. You know, for me to create a barbecue sauce is because I love barbecue sauce. I'm super passionate about it, and I want to bring the best barbecue sauce to the world. And that's why I am on the hunt to create different variations of barbecue sauce, and I want to share it with the world. And that's why I am creating this offer page. Something like that along the lines is basically what people would be much more emotionally attached to you. And that itself allows people to actually buy into your brand and not just any other barbecue sauce offers out there. Testimonials, as we as stated, well, you haven't even sold anything. How can you get testimonials? Well, testimonials are super, super important, and you did get testimonials from the surveys that you were able to do in step 3. When you're testing out the process, you got your photographer, you were able to take pictures, you're able to record stuff, and you're able to ask them what they felt about it, and that itself acts as a testimonial where you can put on the sales page. And this sales page allows you to collect emails at the same time. Now, a lot of people, you might be asking, why is it important for us to collect emails? It is because that's the way for us to communicate with our customers. It's our way to communicate with our tribe. It is our way to be able to have them in our world. Just like some of you guys came in here through emails, and for us, we sent you guys emails every single week to tell you the different resources that we're preparing to help you with your restaurant journey. And that's exactly what we're doing, because we're collecting emails in order for us to bring you into our world and turn you into our loyal fans. And that's the reason why you're here. Now, as you can see, Kyle did exactly that. He was able to grab testimonials from his first time trial guys, and so this is exactly what they should do. And your goal here is that you should be able to have a place to send people more information. So for example, with emails, we were able to send you our live sessions, our videos that we create, and basically resources, any resource that we have to send it to you guys. You're also able to collect emails and leads. It is super crucial for you to be able to collect emails right from the get-go, so then that way you can communicate with your tribe. If you don't have their emails, think about one thing. If you have something that's good, if you have the best barbecue sauce that you want to give to people, then it's really pointless, because there's no way you can tell people about it. There's no way you can distribute this information. And everyone checks their emails, which is the reason why it's crucial to collect emails and nurture them. Pro tip, put a pixel on the page. For some of you guys that are a little bit more advanced in marketing, put a pixel on the page right away, right from the get-go, so then that way you can retarget them down the road. And for those of you that don't know what pixel is basically, simply put, it is for anyone that goes on your website, you're basically putting a red tag on their back. And when they leave the web page and when they leave your site, anyone that has a red tag on their back basically gets to see our marketing in the future. Whenever they go on Facebook, we basically buy ads and we tell people that, hey, anyone that has this red tag, you need to show this advertisement too. And that itself allows us to pinpoint who we're running our targeting and our marketing to. Now, I know this might just blow by you, and it is completely fine. This is not the point of this whole presentation, but for those of you that are a little bit more advanced out there, this would make sense. Second tip is you need to understand Now, people don't care what you have to say. They care about what others say about you, which is more the reason why testimonials are huge and super, super crucial to your success. Because when people come into your site and you're like, oh, you know what? You keep telling us how great your barbecue sauce is, but no one else is telling me how great about it is. Then I get really skeptical about, hey, does this work? Does this not work? Which is the reason why testimonials are super crucial, because statistically wise, it improves your conversion rate by more than 200%. And what does that mean? That means that for everyone that comes in, if you have testimonials, you would be able to sell twice as much to people just because you have testimonials on your page. Now that's step 4. If you guys have any questions about sales page, let me know right now before I jump into step 5, because some of these might be a little bit more intimidating right now for those of you who are not too familiar with it, but it is not that difficult actually. For a lot of people, you guys can do this yourself. You don't need to hire someone that is super professional to run it for you. Okay, now next step. Step number 5, have a lead magnet. Now, what is a lead magnet? Lead magnet has to be something that is valuable. It is something that you give to your customers, something that you give in return for an email or for a subscription or whatever that the case may be. We see that a lot of people, and you 100% have experienced something like this before. I'll give you an example. You go shop on a website, and when you shop on a website, people would ask you, hey, you know what, sign up for my newsletter, put your email down, and in return, I'll give you 10% off. That itself is a lead magnet. They're giving you something as an offer, something that you value, and in exchange, you are giving them your email. So then that way they can communicate with you. And that itself is a lead magnet. Lead magnet can come in so many different shape, forms, and ways. It can come as a guide, hey, you know what, 10-step guide. This is something that I personally always do. I have templates that I give to you guys for free. I have resources, I have checklists, I have all these type of goodies which I'm creating and I'm sharing with you guys in exchange for your email, so then that way I can tell you guys whenever we have live seminars like this, whenever we have new videos that we're posting, to tell you guys about that, to communicate with you guys on these different types of stuff. And this itself is called a lead magnet. So for you, you need to create your own lead magnet in order for you to entice people to be interested in exchange for their email, so then that way you can communicate with them. Now, with your lead magnet, you're gonna put it on your sales page, so then that way people can enter their email, and in exchange, you give them the resource. Back to the same example of barbecue sauce. What kind of lead magnet do you want to give to people in exchange for their emails? Now, something that we need to always keep in mind is that it must be valuable. Valuable in the sense of something that your customer or your fans that might be interested in your offer finds it valuable, not from your perspective. It has to come from your customer, your fans, your subscriptions point of view. For me, what's valuable is different from what's valuable to you. Whenever we create templates, whenever we create checklists that we use in a restaurant, these things are valuable to you because you haven't done that, you haven't been there, and you want to get more resources, which is the reason why you would be willing to give me your email in exchange for our guide, in exchange for our templates, and in turn it allows us to nurture you and allows us to give you more and more value. So in your case, think about what your customers are wanting from you. Back to the example with ice cream shops, for example. Our ice cream shop, what would our customers find as valuable in exchange for the email? So for ice cream, it could be a homemade ice cream recipe. That is something that for ice cream nerds, for ice cream people that are like, ooh, I love ice cream, ooh, I want to make my own, then they may find this really an attractive offer that, hey, you know what, 10 recipes from 720 Sweets. That itself is a lead magnet. So ask yourself, what is it that you can turn information-wise into a lead magnet? Whether it be discounts, whether it be coupons. Coupons is another form of lead magnet that is out there. Does that make sense, guys? I really hope it does. Let me know in the comment section below. If we don't have questions, we're going to move on to step number 6. All right, it seems like that you guys are a little bit quiet today. Guys, the most that you guys can learn from this is to engage with me, so then that way I can answer your questions, so I know how to, whether I'm explaining in detailed or do I need to elaborate a little bit more. So make sure that you guys let me know whether it works for you or am I going too fast. But if I don't have any other questions, I'm gonna go on to the next step. Value, value, value. This is once again super important, because at the end of the day, whenever we think of, putting out posts, whenever we think about creating things, it's always from our perspective. We think about ourselves. We don't think about our customer, because that's just human nature, which is more the reason why whenever you get these people that follow you, when you get these email subscribers, you need to give them tons and tons of value. For example, Kyle, what was he able to do here? You need to connect with your customers. This is something that I always preach on with the ACE formula. You need to align with your customers, tell them your story, tell them exactly why you want to create the barbecue sauce. And then second, you want to tell them and you want to connect with them. How do you connect with them? Give them value. Give them tons and tons and tons of value. So then that way you gain the trust, you gain the authority. Just like what I'm doing with you guys right now, I'm giving you guys tons of values. We're spending hours on end to show you guys what we have learned, show you guys what we're capable of, and in turn, you see and you develop that trust with us. Same thing with Kyle. What has he done with his bartending course? He gives out free recipes. He shows people how to do bartending tricks, as you can see on the Instagram, tin pivot, tin flip, and different types of recipes that you see. He's not promoting himself and telling you to, yo, come in and buy my bartending course, because who would want to be sold? No one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to buy. People don't want to be sold. So definitely we need to provide value, value, value. Connect with the customers, nurture them. That is super important. Now you may be thinking, hey, how do I nurture them? Well, it could be through your emails, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be YouTube. It doesn't really matter where you nurture them, as long as you're doing the job. For me, myself, doing this course for you guys, doing this seminar, it is through YouTube. I'm not active on Instagram. I like to keep my Instagram private. Although I do invite you guys to check out my Instagram. It is my personal avenue to display to the world how I live. That's where I keep all my family stuff and basically what I do. Facebook, I don't really use, aside from the Facebook group, which you guys should definitely join, because we share a ton of resources in there, and that's where people can ask questions and get the feedback from the community. Email is something that I just tell you guys about, hey, whenever we have these resources, remind you guys super important stuff, and that's basically how we give you guys tons and tons of value. And in turn, after you guys get tons of value, and if you guys are in need of extra additional help, then I present to you guys, hey, we have a course. We basically teach people how to start their restaurant from scratch, exactly how we have done ours. We scaled ours from 1 ice cream shop to 7 ice cream shops, and we got it acquired. That's basically what we have done, and we want to share that blueprint with you. And of course, for us to document this process and to be able to share with you guys with hours on end of training, then it comes at a cost, and in turn tons of people are happy about it because they're able to get resource, they're able to get step-by-step process, they're able to get that confidence in doing so. For you guys, it's the same theory, it's the same steps. What kind of value do you want to present your customers, and in turn they will buy from you? Whether it be a bartending course, whether it be barbecue sauce, whether it be ice cream recipe, you need to give them value. And we've just basically outlined the steps in creating a digital course, which in turn helped Kyle create more than $50,000. And that's exactly how you guys can do that. If that makes sense, let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, we are pretty much done with this whole thing. And actually, additionally, the super bonus round, guys. Something that I've always wanted to make sure that I always do is over-deliver. Over-deliver in creating bonuses, over-deliver in going one step further, because for you guys who are in here, you feel like, hey, you know what? This is exactly what I signed up for, but more. Same thing with your course, same thing with your sales page, same thing with what you have to offer your customers. You need to always over-deliver. And that's the reason why I'm just demonstrating to you guys what a bonus and how it really feels when there is something additional that you can do to add even more value. I can't emphasize how important it is for your customers, for your audience to feel the value that they're getting. You need to give them bonus resources, just like what I'm doing for you guys is to give you bonus resources, right? Certifications is huge when it comes to creating your course, whether it be master barbecue sauce guy or ice cream connoisseur, or like, bartending certification. Why is certification super important as well? It is because, first of all, it gives your customers a sense of completion. They feel like they're going for a goal. They feel like that, hey, you know what? If I finish this course, I get to have this piece of paper which validates my efforts and validates my skill set. And that itself would increase the amount of people that actually complete your course. In addition to that, it also adds to a sense of pride and a sense of, hey, guys, I've done it. And they're able to share it with their friends. Hey, you know what? I just completed that bartending course, and this is my certification. And in turn, people find prestige in that, and in turn, more and more people would want to come to you because there's a sense, an uplift of status, and that is super important when it comes to life in general. Add more value, your time, guys. Accolades, status. What does that even mean, accolades and status? Once again, the only reason why people would share stuff is when they feel that there's an uplift in status, because of the fact that they want themselves to look good. And that's exactly what you need to do with your courses, with your offerings. Just like how Kyle has done, as you can see on the left-hand corner, he put his bunch of different partners that he works with, either Campery, Beam Suntory, and these are big brands, and in turn it allows you to give the confidence, and that confidence boost that, hey, you know what, Kyle knows his stuff, that nimble bartending is the bomb. This really adds that confidence, and a lot of times it pushes your customers who are on the fence over the fence, so then that way they would consume and they would buy your course, they would buy your offering, and all this good stuff. And as you can see here, the certification that Kyle has been offering, and in addition, he even did one step further by offering stuff and offering bartending tools that he himself have outsourced and to sell. So for example, if it's barbecue sauce, there's probably your Wilson's container that is a special container made for barbecue sauce, and people will gobble that up because they feel like, wow, this must be good stuff because this guy's giving good content, this guy's teaching really well, I want to consume everything that he has to offer. And that wraps up how to make $50,000 extra for your restaurants. I really hope you guys enjoyed that. That's the first half of our agenda. And if you guys have any questions, now's a really good time to ask that right now. Otherwise, we're going to go to the next section of our scheduling. I really need to work on these kind of transitions. I'm really bad at it. Do you guys have any recommendations of how I can transition better? Let's see here. Okay. All right, next step. Sorry guys, just give me a quick second, let me get out of this. All right. So, 2 must-watch videos for you guys. If you guys haven't done so already, we talked about the 8 steps on cutting business costs. Now is the most important time to look at how do you expand in your revenue, and at the same time, how do you cut your business costs? That is super, super crucial for your success to stay alive to fight another day. And a lot of people are liking that video. Make sure you guys check it out. We're gonna leave it in the comment section below with the link. And we have another video that we talked about the must-have business skill set that is super important. It's basically my rant about one of the key steps in having loyal customers and to avoid losing customers in general. And that is super, super important. And that's going to be coming out this week as well. Definitely look out for it. We have a ton of interviews that we have done with restaurant owners as well, which will be coming out as well. So definitely be on the lookout for those. Now to the next section. We talk about the delivery app. So this article talks about the fact that the mayor of Jersey City signed an executive order to immediately cap all commission for third-party apps like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and all that to 10%. Contrary to the 30% high margins, mayor's doing something to cap that percentage. Now, that link is in the comment section. For me, my take on something like this is that I don't feel like he's doing his job. And at the end of the day, because from a restaurant's point of view, yes, it's amazing. It is a good thing that the mayor is doing something like this. But if you're cutting and capping out the percentages that these third-party apps can offer, you're basically changing their business model. And a lot of times, if you change that business model, it might not even exist because they have their overheads, they need to pay their drivers. And for us, I've always been preaching about how to utilize these third-party apps. You don't use it to generate profit. You use it to generate sales. You use it to generate volume. And at the end of the day, you need to create different types of strategies and utilize different strategies to use these third-party apps, whether it be creating a different menu, so then that way you can work your margins to only offer high margin items, and in turn allows it to be a win-win situation. Or you use it to just bring in people that would dine in or that would go to your website and to gain that brand awareness. Never do you use third-party apps for profitability. A lot of businesses are failing because they don't know about this and they fail to understand the economics of using these third-party apps. Now, as a mayor coming in, not understanding the full nuances of how these third-party apps work and capping it at 10%, I feel like would only kill these third-party apps, and in turn, it just makes it into a less efficient economy, a less efficient system, which is not going to work in the future. So I think in the short term, it's going to work, but in the long term, this is not going to work. Second article, we talk about Colorado restaurant defies safer at-home order and hosts hundreds for Mother's Day brunch. And this really frustrates me, to be honest with you guys, because they're super happy about all the support and they feel like that they have done their time. They talked about, we stayed quarantined for more than 2 weeks and now they should deserve to be reopened, and really neglecting what the government is saying and all these different policies. I feel like that if you want to change the rules, if you feel like that, the Constitution is not, you're basically not doing right by ordering people to social distance, then you may want to become a politician. Go and be a politician, go and change the orders, go and actually make, the city a better place or whatsoever and make better rules. But as a restaurateur, it is our job to make sure that we follow the rules, but play around them, not to explicitly put people in danger and just for self-gain. I really don't think so. I don't think that's the way to go. The rules have changed doesn't mean that your business should suffer. I interviewed more than a handful of people that are doing exceptionally well, if not better than pre-COVID, because they're able to pivot, because they're putting out different offers that are more tailored to the environment today. Instead of putting hundreds of people at risk of contracting this disease. I just don't think this is right. I think that, if they're so righteous about what they want to offer, then they should become a politician. Otherwise, you know what? Know the new rules of the game, adapt to it, and actually do better. Tons of people are doing that. I've done tons of videos talking about how you can do that and pivot. So yes, I'm going to shame you publicly on my YouTube channel. Now, as I was saying, previously I talked about the ACE formula. For some of that you guys that are new, ACE formula is something that is the principle of what I follow when I'm building my businesses. It stands for alignment, really telling people about what you stand for, because that is really what people will attach themselves to, and at the same time that's where you gain loyalty and get that premium that you want to charge your customers. That's the difference between someone charging $35 for a burger to someone that's charging $10 a burger, because of that alignment, because people have that trust. Second is to connect with your customers. Connect with them, present tons of value, be where your consumers are at, whether it be Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, emails. Definitely, as I was saying earlier, have your sales page, create your lead magnet, and then connect with them, give them tons and tons of value. And then we talk about exploding. And then we talk about the different marketing strategies. We talk about Facebook ads. We talk about, running different promotions, buy one, get one free, 20% off, curbside pickup, all this kind of good stuff we can talk about, and we can implement these strategies given the fact that we have initially aligned and connect, and then we do these promotions. Because without connecting that, people don't care what you have to offer. People don't want to support you. Why do they want to be there to support you when I have no relation to you, when you're not even my friend? That's the reason why it's super important for us to do the alignment and connecting part before we talk about marketing strategies. And this has worked with my tutoring business, with my events business, with my food and beverage business, and this is the exact same principle that I follow. And this is basically the short blueprint of what we have used to build the multiple businesses that we have done in the past. And if you guys want to learn more about how we're able to do that in the past, definitely check out the Ultimate Restaurant course, which has tons of different templates, step-by-step guide on how we're able to do that, negotiating free rent, and just basically a master blueprint. We have courses on, accounting. We have courses on this. We have courses on that. But we rarely see any courses on building a restaurant, and that's exactly why I created this, because I have tons of people asking us on our email about, hey, Wilson, how do you do this? Can you help me? And this is exactly why I'm presenting this to you guys. Creating a menu that is profitable is also super key, and also creating a team that is super, super important. Sorry about that, guys. And yeah, this is super, super important. We have all the templates, we have all the worksheets to guide you along the way. 1997. At the end of the day, we are actually discounting that to $497, only for the people that are attending the live and actually investing their time with me right now, mainly because I know this whole COVID thing. And on top of that, do know for one thing, this price is not going to last. We are in the works to revamp everything, and I want to make sure that you guys get the best deal out of this whole thing, because the price would not be at $497. But without this, enough about this offer. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want to learn more, email us or leave it in the comment section below, and we'll contact you guys for a little bit more. Or actually, you know what? Jason will leave a link to this offer for you guys only. So Q&A time, guys. Now finally we're talking about Q&A. So we are gonna be, here you go, boom, boom, boom. Just give me a quick second. We are gonna go Q&A and answer all your questions. Super, super exciting times. I hope I did okay for you guys in this presentation, and you guys enjoyed it. There we go. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Stan, We recently implemented a POS system. Are there any spreadsheet templates you recommend to track performance and do an analysis? Also, are you familiar with how we can extract this data and put on cloud? A lot of POS system right now actually has this all implemented with their platform. So I highly recommend you to find a POS system that already has these in their tracking system. For example, Toast does an amazing job. Square also does an amazing job. And these are the two POS systems I would highly recommend. You wouldn't want to actually create additional worksheets. You don't want to create additional ways to extract and put on the cloud, because you're creating more work for yourself. You're actually, things and items would be missing. And in addition to that, a lot of the statistics, you wouldn't know how to decipher them. And if you have all these kind of statistics and it's not presented in a easy to read format, it just becomes more work for you and it's not going to be insightful, which is the reason why go with POS systems that actually offer this kind of service, and it would save you a ton of time from tracking when your employees clock in to when they clock out, and also tracking and actually pitting that against your revenue allows you to actually schedule properly, because at your peak times you want to schedule more people, and at slower times you want to make sure that you don't schedule as many people, and that is crucial to making sure that you minimize your costs. So if you just onboarded with this POS system, then I would highly recommend either asking them if they have this type of offering, or switch to a different type of POS system that offers that. You just started out, I think it's still a really good time for you to switch that up. Let me know if that makes sense, Dan. If you want more, if you want me to elaborate a little bit more, put it in the comment section below. Nia, I'm planning to open a QSR, and I'm doing all my homework at the moment. However, I constantly have a fear that might not be the right time, even after things settle down due to COVID. Hey, I don't know what a QSR is, but if you're talking about a restaurant, now is the perfect time to do so. As I was sharing with
service restaurant.
Quick service restaurant. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Jason. Quick service restaurant. 100% I would go with starting it. If this has always been your dream, and if you have done all your work, if you have basically done your target analysis, your customer demographic, all the goodies and all the checks that you have done in the past, the only thing that holds you back is the COVID, then I would highly recommend you to still go ahead with it. COVID, an external factor, shouldn't be a reason why you shouldn't do what you've always dreamt of. That's number one. And second of all, this has actually been a better reason why now's the time to do so. And let me explain to you why. A client of mine got a 1 year free of rent, and how they're able to do that is because we're able to negotiate with the landlord. And me, coming from a perspective of a landlord and also a tenant, so I own buildings myself and also I rent places. So as a landlord, my mindset is the fact that I'm paying thousands of dollars in mortgages every single month. Now, if no one is renting my unit, then I'm paying the thousands out of my pocket. So I am definitely fearful of my tenant not paying me rent. And if the place is empty, I would also be fearful that it wouldn't be rented out, which is the reason why you would have more leverage as a tenant to negotiate free rent. And if you're signing a 5-year lease or 10-year lease with your tenant, or you're with your landlord, he knows the fact that, hey, I'm already forking out, be risking the fact that my unit is going to be empty for the next few months. But if I have a good tenant for the next 5 years that is going to be paying my mortgage, I don't mind having and giving you guys 1 year free rent, because I need to give it to you anyways. Or if I don't rent it out, it's going to be not generating any income anyways. So that's the reason why now is a really good time to negotiate for good rents. And also, just because the rules have changed, just because the whole environment has changed, does not mean that the market is not there. That does not mean that people are not consuming. It just means the behavior has changed. It means that everyone is starting from ground zero. Everyone's starting from the same line. And if you know the rules, if you know and understand what your customers are looking for, you could actually have a better edge than people who are not adapting, who are not doing better, which is the reason why it is super crucial, and it is also an amazing time for you to start your restaurant. Kenneth, 60% of food and beverage in UAE are about to close down in 2 months from now. How can I sustain my restaurant? Kenneth, there are so many different ways and strategies that I've shared with you for the last month, actually. Definitely go through all those videos, because we talk about having takeout as a core fundamental for your business. We talked about how do you creatively offer your consumers ways to purchase from you, whether it be turning your restaurant into a convenient grocery store, or having selling the made meal kits at home. These are all different good strategies that you can employ, and at the same time, creating family meals are super great as a vehicle, something that is comforting for your consumers, something that is good price point. So we actually interviewed a fine dining restaurant with an average ticket price of over $200, and they were able to pivot just last month, and they were selling like 1,500 units a day, and they have a payroll of 100 people, and they were able to pivot into selling burgers at $14 a pop, and they were busy like left, right, no tomorrow, and they were still able to sustain their 100 employees because they were able to pivot. So I definitely challenge you guys to actually go through all those videos, because I don't want to bore you guys with all these different types of strategies that I've talked about before. Go through those resources. We have a playlist specifically on COVID-19 and the different strategies and interviews that we have done. So definitely check those out. Those are really valuable insights. And I did those interviews with my friends who are in this industries, who are doing well, so then that way it can inspire you to do equally as well. If that makes sense, let me know in the comment section below. And if you need any more clarification, let me know as well, so I can elaborate a little bit more on that. Athena, how did you research the market at the beginning? I mean, whether we're running around and ask the people, or do you have any plan? Athena, yes, definitely we have a plan to do so. Simply put, we were in the community where we want to establish our presence, and we did a ton of interviews, and we also checked out different restaurants and our competitors around the block, and we are able to actually understand what the market is looking for within that community and really create an offering that is suitable for them. So if you want to learn more, once again, check out my videos in the past, or if you want more step-by-step and the templates that we have used, definitely check out the program that we have. It's only for $4.97, and the value that you get is tremendous. It basically documents how we were able to build our ice cream shop into an ice cream chain, which ended up being acquired. So I can't emphasize how much more important it is to have someone that have been there and done that to show you the step-by-step. Check out the link, and that really is really helpful. Josh, where should I focus more in the beginning when building a restaurant? The food first or the business first? Without understanding your demographic, it doesn't matter what offer you have. You may have the best ice cream in the world, and if you're in a situation, if you're situated in a place that no one really likes it, no one's gonna come. It's like, for example, if we have the best African food in Vancouver, I really doubt that it would be successful, because we just don't have that population of African Canadians in Vancouver. And if there's no demand for something like that, it's not going to work, which is the reason why I really recommend going for the business first, understanding your demographic, understanding what your customers want before going to market with your food. Now, having said that, if your food sucks, no one's going to come either. So make sure that you have amazing food and amazing quality. But what I'm saying is understanding your customer demographic is huge when it comes to doing a food and beverage business. It's all about product market fit. Definitely identifying your customers is key to the success. Yeah, so that's that. If you need any more elaboration, let me know. Josh, what's my opinion on advertising restaurants on TV other than web pages and social media? Well, honestly, I don't have much experience advertising on TV. My demographic and what I'm really good at is not TV, nor am I good at big scale restaurants, and anyone that can afford to run branding, like for example Red Lobster on TV and stuff like that, I'm not there, right? And I don't cater myself, and nor do I want to tell you guys that I'm good at it, because I'm not good at it, nor am I good at fine dining and stuff like that. But I'm definitely good at the smaller offerings. So I would not recommend going with TV, mainly because of the fact that you can't really track the performance. At the end of the day, today in now's age, we can track the performance of how our marketing campaigns are doing. And the amount of money that we can invest, and we invest in a marketing campaign, whether it be social media or podcasts or web pages, you can track all these type of metrics. And because of the fact that we can track it, we can see whether it works or not. So if you ask me, I would put my money where I know for a fact that it's going to return my money for me. There's a direct ROI. So for example, if it is a Facebook ad that we're running, we can have a specific unique promo code that we have on the Facebook ads, and how many people check out with that promo code would indicate what's my return on investment, and in turn allows me to see, hey, should I continue to scale this, or should I say that, hey, it's not really working because no one's redeeming the coupon code. This allows us to see what works and what doesn't work. TV does not allow you to do that, and on top of that, it's huge budget right off the bat, and you don't know whether it's successful or not, which is the reason why I would not recommend that. Saifo, should we spend more on packaging during this time? I mean, printed labels. Honestly, that's actually a really good question. I was thinking about it the other day. I don't think you need to spend too much on printed labels, because people don't care about this right now. It's all about adapting. It's all about pivoting. And it's all about changes right now. So people don't care about branded items. They care about the quality of the food. So I would invest more on the quality of the food. I would invest on creating an item that is great for the demographic now. People are they want comfort food. That is super important. Having a comfort food item for your customers is crucial. Athena, should we search a niche market first or find a product? What's your opinion? I don't think it's all about finding a niche market. It's about finding a market that you feel works. So for example, if a street has 3 different sushi shops, and if you think that you can outbeat them, it doesn't hurt to open up another ice cream shop or a sushi shop, because in your community, in your town, whenever people think about sushi, they will come to your street. And in turn, if there's big enough demand and if there's big enough density in your city, then it is okay, because now you're getting advertisement and you're getting that economy of scale to come to that street, and in turn allows you to potentially capture those audience. So really, it's not about just having a niche market. It is about being in a market that you can actually fulfill, and understanding your customer demographic, understanding what sets you apart from the rest of your competitors, and understanding what you can offer your customers. And that's really key in building a quick service restaurant. Does that make sense, Athena? Hello, Mr. Fish. Mr. Fish has always been, shout out to you, Mr. Fish. You always comment, you're always first, so thank you for being a big supporter. Wonder how we should do marketing these days. Reopening the restaurant. Hey, definitely, I think it's a great time that your restaurant is reopening, and putting out the message out there that you're reopened. I think one key item is that people are still, it's really fresh in their minds that hygiene and whether it's safe to consume at your place is super important. Whether it's the government that forces these rules on you or not, it is crucial for you to show your customers that you take, and not just your customers, your staff as well, that you take hygienes to the very highest degree, because it is top of mind of what people are considering, whether they want to dine at your restaurant or not. So whether it be gloves, whether it be every hour sanitizing, whether it be contactless payments, whether it be showing people that you take hygienes to the highest degree, is going to be key in the next short term in gaining the confidence for people to dine at your restaurant. And that itself is going to be pivotal, and that itself is going to be crucial for people coming to dine in at your place or not. So that's what I see. And a lot of people just do the bare minimum of what the government is telling them to do so. And I don't think that is going to really work well if you only do the bare minimum. So go overboard, over communicate that you have really highest degree of hygiene and that you care, and not only that to your customers but your people that work for you, because they care about their life as well. They don't want to get contracted with people, and it also gives you great culture if you really care about your hygiene. And at the end of the day, it doesn't hurt to have really good hygiene practices. So hopefully that answers your question. So today we are going to our last question from Earth to Neo. What's your perspective on shopping mall food court type restaurants? Hey, I really enjoy shopping mall food type restaurants because it's guaranteed traffic. It's pretty much understanding your offering and understanding the people that shop at that specific mall, and understanding how much disposable income that they have, what types of people that shops in the mall is super crucial. Basically, you're in a pond full of fishes. You know for a fact that people are buying. You know for a fact that these people are going to be consuming. So it's a matter of not luring the fish in this pool, but a matter of finding the right bait for your consumers. So which is the reason why I like being in a food court, because the fishes are there already. You don't need to import the fish. You don't need to go find a pond with more fish. You know for a fact that it's there. It's a matter of finding the right bait. So the question really is, how do you find the right bait? Understanding your customer demographic is key. Shout out to you, Mr. Fish, again. Sending love back your way in Norway. I really hope that you guys find value in this. I had a ton of fun doing this for you guys. And yeah, definitely tune in for next week's live as we do more. And if you guys haven't done so, definitely join the Facebook group, because that's where we communicate. That's where we give you guys back a ton of value as well. And actually being able to build a community of restaurateurs is also crucial to basically all of our successes. But nonetheless, hope you guys stay safe. Hope you guys are killing it out there. And yeah, I'll see you guys in next week's live.